So hey guys, hi and welcome back. Thank you so much for watching this series. My name is Aarzoo Shah. The reason I started this series is because I genuinely feel that the way I was at one point in my life, I definitely learned a lot of different ways to feel this way about myself, to feel how it was important for me to believe in myself. But I learned this not only through my own experiences, but also with the experiences of people around me. Sometimes it was through my brother, sometimes it was with the friends around, sometimes it was my mom, my sister in law, and all the different women existing in my life, all the different people that existed in my life. When I started this series, I genuinely did this with whole idea behind in my mind that we learn through the experiences of others, and when we learn through the experiences of women who've achieved so much in their life, the learning is genuinely to a different level. Everyone has a journey to share, and the parts of their journey that could inspire me, that could inspire everyone out there, is the whole purpose behind doing this. Everything that I say about our today's guest is not going to be enough, I know that for sure, but I'll still make an attempt to introduce her. One of the finest dancers India has ever seen, one actor who acted with her heart and soul, a very proud mother, and a woman who genuinely believes in herself and who has a journey that can inspire millions of women out there. Let's hear it from Neelima Azeem. My first question to you is, what does inner beauty mean to you? How do you define inner beauty for your own self?
Well, this is, it's not easily said in a word or two.
Yeah.
I think we have different stages in our life, and when we are young, it's about discovering oneself and discovering all that is beautiful about oneself, or at least what we perceive is beautiful. At a certain age, we perceive things because we are mentally conditioned by all that we've seen, watched in films or ads, especially ads that, beautiful is a girl that's fair, a girl that's tall, a girl that has certain measurements or a certain kind of body, a girl that is always looking very happy and sultry or sensual or joyous. So we have all these mental conditionings that we grow up with, and if we fall short of that, we actually lose self-esteem and we start feeling that we are floundering around in a very colorful and happy and successful world. And I think then comes the time when a lot of things happen to you. Your work happens to you, your love life happens to you, your marriage happens to you, your children happen to you, your workplace and all that, it challenges, and your colleagues and your bosses, and the whole stress of being successful and earning and becoming independent and being a role model to your children comes later, and all that. And I feel every human being has a right to flounder, fall. The point is, if you do you pick yourself up, learn from your mistakes, and jump back into life again, and then experience a different experience of what you understand and what you perceive as different. So I think being beautiful inside is about being honest. I think honesty is a very huge part of being beautiful. Also, I think about thinking of others more than yourself is beautiful. Appreciating the world around you, appreciating people not according to the fame they've achieved or the good looks they have or the brilliance or the excellence they have achieved, but by sheerly understanding who's a beautiful human being and contacting that person, connecting with that person one-to-one, and helping people who are not so sure of themselves. In our country, most women go through that. And there are very few women who are supported, but even by their families, unfortunately, in our country. Most of the people are extremely... women actually have been ignored.
Yeah.
They have been treated like an animal on a farm. So when you need to milk it, you need to milk it. You need to keep it clean because it gives you milk. Or it means that when it's old, it gives you meat to some people that function like that. So the point is that women have actually been accepted because of all that they do for you.
Yeah.
Not about thinking women who have set a certain set of goals for themselves and who want to achieve something in their lives, or who are truly individual or thinking people. So I think being beautiful is being a certain person at different stages of your life.
Yeah.
So I think today what would mean beautiful to me would not mean that to you in terms of reality, in sheer experience. It would be a theoretical thing. It would be something that could attract you or fascinate you. But to actually understand it, you have to live through it.
What would real beauty mean to you at this stage of your life?
Today, real beauty means, firstly, I think, hugely compassion. And it also means lending support. To me, being very beautiful inside is to be so peaceful and so balanced and so correct in my understanding of things without having to put any effort or stress, is that I could be of some value to someone if I am there in their lives, or I can guide them, or just be a friend, or whatever I say. I think I'm responsible today at this age to always say the right thing, so that a younger person than me or someone who is going through a difficult phase in their life or a painful one, I'm able to lend strength.
Yeah.
And I could contribute in a major way or even in a small way to their being able to pull themselves out of that,
So,
and,
at this
and live again happily.
Yeah, like at this age for you, it's about your experiences contributing to someone else's experiences in their life.
Yeah, well, I won't take myself so seriously where I would say something as it's almost pompous for me to say that. But I do think that, like I said earlier, I'm repeating myself because I think it's important, is that you see to it that you are so well balanced in life. And you can actually maybe almost see life like a screenplay, where you laugh and you say, Kal ye hone wala hai, and it happens. Because you've understood the way life works.
Yes.
And what happens after what. What is that sequence? What are the choices you take, and what is the chain reaction of that choice? We understand that at this time. When you're younger, you go through things emotionally also, you go through impulse also, you can even go rebelling against certain things. There are various emotions and reasons why you take certain choices. But I think at our age, if you have grown older gracefully and wisely, you will always go for what's right.
Yeah, true. They are not your emotions that overpower you.
No, it would be about not letting anything damage the situation, but to heal it if possible.
Yeah, I get that when you say that.
Yeah.
When you started your career as a dancer, I've realized this, that every time I go out to do anything new that I'm trying, you get nervous. You question yourself if you'll be able to do that or not. When you started dancing or when you started anything new in your life for the first time, you must have felt that nervousness somewhere. How do you overcome that nervousness, if you've ever felt it?
Actually, I have something very different to share with you, friends here. Is that actually when I started dancing, I actually did get my confidence.
Yeah.
So I was not nervous when I used to dance. I was 15 and I don't call it a career. For me, dancing was never a career. It never will be. Dancing is a way of life for me. That's who I am. That's what I do. That's what I believe in. That is what gives me the complete sense of myself and extreme joy. So I suppose when you're born for something, or that thing embraces you and makes it your own, I do believe that when we start dancing, dance has to embrace you back. So dance is very kind. If it falls in love with you, you look beautiful when you dance. And otherwise, it looks like a lot of effort and grind. So for me, I think dancing came as something which is the easiest thing. Like for instance, today I have a certain health issue. I can't walk that much, but I can still dance and dance away. So yeah, so I think, when I started out, I was surely 15-year-old, and being 15 years old means you're a kid. So I didn't take myself very seriously. I found myself very easily going to the biggest of festivals, conferences, dancing with icons singing behind me or before, or on the sarod or on the sitar, or another great dancer who was like 20 years older than, like people like Yamini Krishnamurthy and Gangubai Hangal and Akbar Khan Sahab, and all these people playing in the conferences. Even doing a conference in Lucknow where Pandit Gopi Krishna danced one day, I danced the second day, Maharaj Ji, Pandit Birju Maharaj Ji, my Ustad, my Guru, danced on the third day. So it's really crazy how I just floated along with all these greats, Sitara Ji's saying things and blah 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 happening, and so much was happening, where I was crowned the princess and I was on a national stamp representing Qatar. And I don't know what all hoopla was going around. I was dancing on the best stages all over the world. But I just danced because I loved doing it. I did not treat it as something that I've become very famous with or I'm excellent with, or it was never this thing about it being a career or it being a source of earnings, good income as for a young girl. It was just something that gave me the motivation to keep dancing. My performances were that. So yeah, I think it's more important to be in love with what you do
Yeah.
than what it brings you.
And when you love something that you do, it automatically gives you the confidence and the.
Yes, I do think that there is nothing to be nervous about in life. I personally am a person who has gone through the series in life to be like when I was a younger girl, I used to get those butterflies in my stomach before my show. I would run to the washroom a million times, and all that used to happen to me. I'd be cold, I'd be sweating in my palms, and my
Yeah.
heart would be beating really fast, and I'd feel, oh, I blanked out, I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I've been through those stages. But today, believe me, uh, whatever I may do, I just don't feel even a pang of nervousness. Sometimes I miss it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I miss it. That little excitement, that
Yeah.
those butterflies, that high. But I don't know. I suppose when you come to life and you see it, and you go through everything in life and you realize, oh, nothing is really hard. It's not about impressing anybody anymore. You know, uh, when you get older, you realize you die one day. So when you die one day, maybe 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line, if you're lucky, 15 years down the line, people actually forget you.
Yeah.
And life goes on. So why try and impress anybody or make such a huge difference to, because you actually don't. You're just doing it for your own sake because it's your passion. It's what you love what you do. So I think that is how we should progress with whatever we are doing. We should just love it and enjoy every second of it.
Yeah, like you said, I think because you said this, I was also thinking most of the nervousness and the fear comes from the space where you want to go out and impress someone. But like you said, when you come from that space where you don't care about, how you want to impress, what you want to do, you do it because you love it, like you love dancing. That fear
I love
automatically goes.
acting almost. I think for me, dancing and acting both are equally exciting, and they're entirely two different experiences. Here, it's interesting. You play with people's psychology. You play different people. You're able to be different people. You're able to live in different worlds, create different worlds. Of course, if you're lucky and you do good work, and I think it's not even about luck. I think it's about choice. Unless life is difficult and you have to earn through it so much that you have to bring up a family or you don't really you're not left with choices. You cannot luxuriate and say I am an artist who will only do this kind of work. But now I'm at that stage where I've done all that.
Yeah.
I've been through it. I've brought my kids up. I'm basically a single mother who was earning for my kids alone. So all that, and I really do think that ultimately now at this stage of my life I'm very, very fortunate because both my sons, my younger ones also now,
Yeah.
arriving with a wonderful film with Panchit Bajiti called Beyond the Clouds, and then Dhadak with Dharma, and with Shashank Khaitan directing the film and Karan producing it, and then I've seen his film, and before that of course Shahid was everybody's darling, and Shahid's film is now coming. So we're all very excited about everything. Life is great, and yeah, so I just need to say that now at this point of time, after coming through everything, all the ups and downs, oh, there were many, let me tell you. There
Of
were
course.
many ups and downs, and there were times when, I would say a person who doesn't really believe in themselves or is a lesser person would have given up almost, There were
At that
such
point.
difficult phases. But I don't know, I just have that joy where I feel that life is about living and living every second because one day you go away. What is it all about? Creating all the fuss.
Yeah.
What is it all about? We come, we go, all of us the same way. हम आते रोते हुए और उसके बाद चादर में चले जाते. That's the truth of life. And without meaning to sound like a cynic, I'm saying it in a very beautiful way that
Yeah, true.
जो पल है इस धरती पे उसको जी लो क्योंकि पता ही नहीं है कि कब तक है.
Yeah.
कोई भी कहाँ तक है. There are much younger people than you that expire right before your eyes, and there are phases when you wonder why this was a good human being, but we don't understand those things, and I'm
Yeah.
sure there is a very deep reason behind it.
Yeah.
which makes this whole world go around.
Go around. Yes,
Yeah.
true.
So I feel कि यार ये गिले शिकवे, रोना धोना, making too much out of a molehill, or allowing a mountain to become maybe uh, the hugest Everest that you have to cross, it doesn't matter. Just keep moving on in life and be happy with what life gives you. Be grateful and make the rest yourself, because you can.
Yes, true.
Anybody can make anything in this world, because I do believe that all of us are Buddhas. We are all people who have the God's light in us. So there is no need to feel like a loser, and nobody does not go through a difficult phase. Everybody goes through a very, very tough phase. It's people who come out smiling are achievers, and those who give up in those difficult times, they lose it.
Like you said, you went through so much of ups and downs in your life.
Lots,
A single
again
mother
and again.
who brought
Yeah.
up 2 kids. At that point when you were the person who was responsible for bringing up your kids, you were alone. Did you ever question yourself if you'll be able to do it or you won't be able to do it? What was it that kept you going at that point,
Um. Yeah. Well, I guess it would be the kind of questions that would come in the mind of most people,
Yeah.
especially women. But somehow, I've never been engaged with this kind of thought process. I've never thought about, will I be able to do it? I think I will do it.
You gave yourself no option at that point.
I will do it. I am
Yeah.
doing it. And I will do it better tomorrow. That's the way I think.
You always believing in yourself at that point.
No, it's not true. Like I told you, that I actually started believing in myself once I turned into a dancer, and a dancer who could go there on stage and dance for hours. And even before that, when I was in class and sort of grooming into a Kathak dancer, and I've learned from the most beautiful dancer of the world of the century, Pandit Bishu Maharaj, and I just feel that I was just happy to do what I did because it was meant for me, and I discovered it, and it discovered me, and it was meant to be me.
Yeah.
So after that, there was nothing else that troubled me really. I had a child when I was very young, and I was an alone mother, and I could have maybe gone the sad way, but I just chose that. I also knew my children are very beautiful. I'm sure every mother knows that, but in my case, I kind of always felt that they have the best in them, and they will bring great joy and happiness to me, and they are doing that today. So,
And after everything you've been through, when you look back, you feel it was all worth it, right?
oh yes, I'm a grandmother today. I'm a grandmother today, and it's like I thought I'm not. I'm the kind of woman who would always be busy with my art, and my children, of course, were both are artists, so there was a lot of sharing of that. But this is the first time I'm experiencing a relationship where I'm just so much in love
Yes.
with my granddaughter that it's actually all about her and my just experiencing it really, and sharing whatever I can with her. So I think life is beautiful. Every day, every stage of your life, you're moving towards something new.
Yeah.
And when you're moving towards something new, because life, see, chapters, they change. If it's a difficult phase you're going through, it will change.
Yeah.
Everything changes in life. The only truth we have in life is change.
Yes.
Yes, we
there's-
don't stop growing. We don't grow till 3 years old and then stop growing.
Stop growing, yes.
We will be 6 one day, and then 10, and then 16 and 16. So we will keep changing, and everything in our environment changes accordingly. So I think anybody who's a person who likes to explore, who's got an adventurous in them, would be excited about life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this whole concept of everything changes, it brings us to that point. There's something that I read on similar lines some days back, that on a good day and on a bad day, just remember that it's gonna change.
Yeah.
Everything keeps changing. right?
Everything keeps changing, and yeah, that's true. Yeah.
When we all have those emotional ups and downs in our life, in every phase. Some days we are low, some days we are high. What do you do to come out of those lows that we have, emotional lows, having a bad day? How do you come out of it?
Oh, I do very simple things like open up my mobile and look at my children in their best moments, and then look at the recent photographs, and then sit with my wonderful daughter-in-law and her beautiful child Misha, and I just kiss them, hug them, and I feel they're right there, and my day starts on a sparkling note. The next thing I do is I dance because I'm taking classes, so I dance. That sets the day for me, and yeah, and I'm hoping to get back to work now in a very very serious fashion. Set my hair, lose my weight, get back full on, and it's all very exciting. And of course, this time it will be very balanced because I have a beautiful family also.
Yes.
So yeah, that's how I look at it.
Like, we could all, every time we feel low, look at the things that brings us joy, the things that we
It
could
will,
be
it
grateful
will.
about.
And I would also like to say that, there are two ways of looking at a problem. If there is a problem, first of all, I don't think there's a problem. I just think there is a situation that is there to teach you something.
Yeah.
You have to learn from it, and it's also about having to check yourself. I believe that some of us are very impulsive people. Artists are extremely emotional, impulsive people. They are a little jackie also. Jackie means ziddi, and they can go to any extent to explore or achieve or get what they want and all that. ऐसे होते हैं कलाकार ज़्यादातर because they're very caught up with themselves. But I think life has a very interesting way of teaching you that you're not bigger than life itself. And I think once you understand that, there's natural surrender. And once there is surrender, then there's wonderful hope. Because now you're not having to fight for anything. He will give. That's how I look at it. Okay, he will take care of you. You just walk the path right. He will take care of you.
Yeah, because we tend to fight with everything that
And I
comes
think
along
that
with
blocks
life.
everything for us.
Yes.
Because there is a better plan for us. We fall in love with somebody, we say, ye to chahiye. Now, what is the difference between us going through the terrible twos where the child is throwing a tantrum? And the child doesn't understand that the parents don't have the money to buy that toy right then.
Yeah.
So we're behaving in the same fashion. No, I want this person. I fall in love with this person. I want this role. I want this film. I want to now dance. It's not about what you want.
Yes.
It's about how to achieve it. And if it's yours, it will come. If it's not meant to be, there's somebody better, or there's
Something better for all of us. instead.
much better in store.
That's how you deal with everything that you tend to.
No, it's not so simple and sweet and sugary. There are days when there are dips, but I'm talking about the larger picture. I'm talking about the overall attitude.
Yes.
I'm talking about feeling a little down, maybe for an hour or two, but not for 10 years.
10 years, yes.
Nature gives you a lot of pleasure. Friends give you a lot of pleasure.
Pleasure,
You
yes.
can just go and sit with a wonderful friend who always makes you feel really loved and joyous, and just go spend some time and go for a walk. Do stuff like with your own self, like dancing. I dance because I'm a dancer. You could be maybe doing Pilates, or you could be, or whatever that excites you. But the point is that there is something that you can get up and do which will immediately make you feel better. Like even a simple thing like taking a shower.
Yeah.
And dressing up nicely after that. You don't want to dress up because किसके लिए तैयार होंगे? वो तो छोड़ के चला गया. अरे यार क्या मतलब है? Get ready. The whole world is shining, na?
Yes.
Whole world is watching you walk on the roads and looking good, or wherever that you are. So all this, and I also feel that there is nobody worth it. इंसान पैदा होता है कुछ लोगों के साथ कुछ वक्त के लिए जीने के लिए.
Yes.
और वो वक्त खूबसूरत है तो वंडरफुल, खराब था तो कुछ सीख लिया आपने उससे. Right?
Yes.
आपने जबरदस्त कुछ सीखा है. You're just most probably a far more wiser person and much more sort of settled. And next time you won't jump to eat like this, but you just look at it. Look, it's well cooked. Okay, ठीक है, खाएगा खाएं. Will it suit me? Will it, will my health allow it?
Yeah.
So that comes with time. But at the same time, I would also like to say, don't get too correct also, because it's boring.
Yeah.
So once in a while, go and jump into a well.
And make a mistake.
Yeah, and swim and come out. Doesn't matter.
Like you said, this very wonderful thing. Like every time we have a bad day, you said some people could take even 10 years to stay in that space.
Yeah, because they like to, na? They need
Yeah.
a reason to feel sorry, na?
Yeah.
Because they are lazy people. They don't want to get up there and slog. And I do believe that people who complain all the time are the people that are so lazy and so caught up with themselves and think that they're so extraordinary that every other person is working hard to achieve what but they should get it on their lap.
Yeah.
They're so extraordinary, God should walk down and say, "Ye lo."
Yes.
So then, I mean, it's a problem.
Yeah, and like you said, every time we have a bad day, there is something that we can do that will make us feel better.
Yeah, you have to keep trudging towards things. I think there's a thing called baby steps.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going through clinical depression or you're going through something like a major crisis in life or a breakup or a marriage breakup or a divorce or even death, these are really large things to cope with. They are not easy things to cope with. Also, losing your job and suddenly seeing serious financial crisis and having to be responsible for children and family. Definitely, these are things that you're not taking lightly, and you say, "Oh, okay, I'm going to go do a thing like take a walk, have a shower, and feel better."
Yes.
But the point is that you have to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And I do believe that if you have it inside you to not give up and believe that it will get better, because I will make it better, and of course, who am I? So that energy that we call the higher intelligence, or you call Allah or Bhagwan, or you call, what, God, or that wonderful energy is aligned to our positivity. So when you're positive about life, I feel that the positivity attracts positivity. If we sit there and sulk and moan and just generally blame everything around, you will attract more of it.
Yes.
I feel our internal world is like a computer. When you say, "I'm sad," okay, let's make you sadder.
Yeah.
And if you say, "I'm happy," then something comes along to actually give you joy. Otherwise, you are happy within yourself anyway because you're happy to be alive.
This whole conversation that we have with ourselves is so many times something that we don't focus on at all, of what we are telling ourselves every single day. I've realized this for myself also, that every time I tell myself I'm sad, I'll see more things to be sad about. They'll definitely come to me naturally only.
Yeah.
But like you said, we could always have faith in someone above us and do
And
our
within
work.
ourselves also, we have that someone above us, that light, that energy, that extraordinary, miraculous being. If we say that there is a higher intelligence that works, it's also about that intelligence having made you a human being. You do not only operate on instinct.
Yeah.
You've been given a mind. And the more we cultivate our mind, the less emotional we stay. And it's wonderful to be emotional, but not to that degree where you don't think logically at all.
That was one thing that I was just going to ask you. How do you deal with those phases where our emotions tend to overpower us so many times? Something bad happens, maybe a relationship, maybe a marriage, or maybe someone very close to us, and we are so emotional about what's going on that we let it overpower us in a lot of different ways. How do you maintain that emotional balance with yourself and not let your emotions
It's
overpower
not true
you?
that we don't go through phases where that emotional disbalance comes in.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, it's human.
Yeah,
Unless
true.
they are absolutely a cold creature and you have no feelings, no heart, and you were sincerely in love, or you were seriously committed to something, or you worked very hard at what you loved and you brought yourself, and then that crashed, or suddenly you have no money, and these are the things, like I just said earlier. There are phases when you have to cope.
Yeah.
But that's what it is all about. Don't keep coping only. No, you need to move to the next step. You need to start doing that. And then you need to start, it's like when you go for a walk, you go out in the morning, you don't feel like really getting out of bed every day and, going for a walk. It's so boring every day, the same people, the same garden, and you're walking. Walking isn't something that is new.
Yeah.
It's unexciting. But you see, what happens is when you get into the discipline of walking every day, the day when you don't walk for a couple of days, you realize what it's doing for you. And that's what I mean. If you just apply that to surely getting out of bed and going out, taking a shower, changing your clothes, and going there, even knocking on people's doors to get work, or seek what you need to seek from whatever your goal is or your interest is, it just slowly and steadily becomes so much a part of you that you only know how to be positive. You don't know how to be negative. And that's what life is all about. Either you are following the path of goodness, or you're letting yourself decay.
It's about taking those baby steps every single day and making it a part of your
And
life.
then one day you start enjoying it, and then you realize that you're running so fast. You're the fastest runner in the garden. But when you came to the garden, you were, you were unhappy, you were sad, you were tired, or you were dejected, or just exhausted with what is happening
Yeah,
in
true.
life with you, and you don't feel you have the energy to do it, but you push yourself. But the point is, you will see that maybe in a month or two, you'll be the fastest runner in the garden, in the park.
Yes, I get your
So
point.
that's that. I just apply that to life.
Life,
That if you
yes.
just carry on somehow, maybe you feel, oh, I'm trudging, I'm trudging. It's not trudging. It's taking baby steps
Yes.
towards something wonderful again. And we have to earn things in life. I also believe that it's not right to sit and complain because you just want, like I said a little while back, that aake bhai humko mil jaye. The point is, everybody's worked very hard for what they've got.
Yes, true.
So, and that is true. A lot of human beings love to talk very badly about celebrities, and they tear them down, and they think that they're just some lucky, people who've done all the wrong things and sold their souls and become whoever. It's not true. The fact is that they work very hard every second of their day without respite to get where they've got it.
Yes.
And that's the only way. That's the only way to go and do, go and do, go and do. And then give yourself a treat and do something really naughty and mischievous and mad and then go back and then do and do and do. That's what I believe.
Yeah, like you said, so many times we tend to be people who do not work hard to get what we want. And at that point where we are not willing to work for getting what we want, we look at others who already have it and say that, they're just lucky people who've got it.
There's a lot of all that happening on the internet these days.
Yes.
I see a lot of hate mail.
Yes.
And the internet is a great place. It's connected us to everything, including knowledge and people we had kind of lost on, in our lives, like school friends and all.
Yes.
And also connecting with new minds and discussing issues and supporting issues. And it's very interesting. It gives you all the knowledge and everything. But at the same time, I feel it's also given a free hand to a lot of lallus, actually. That's the word, nikhattus. They don't do anything in life. खुद कुछ करना नहीं है, स्मोक अप करके पड़े रहना है, कोई बैठ के सबको गाली देनी है, ये क्या वो क्या, अंदर एनर्जी नहीं है, ड्रिंकिंग एंड जस्ट लाइंग अराउंड पार्टी, एंड देन दे से ऑल these awful things about those people who have not been doing those things.
Yes.
But who've been making progress surely because they worked hard towards it. So at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter who says what.
It's about just looking at what we are doing.
Yeah, and just doing what you want to do and feel happy with that. You make progress in life, it's great. You have people admiring you, it's great, but it's transient. There will be a day when you will have to move on and then the next will come. So that's the truth of life.
It's about, like you said, connecting with your own self and believing in your own self rather than the other things around you.
And I also believe that you should not find other people to get happiness from, and you should definitely not depend on things like success and fame, because they are transient. They will come and then they will go.
Yes.
And if you have become that one person which means success, you are what is success, then the day success leaves you, who will you be? You will be empty. You will seek for an identity, it will not be yours.
Yes.
But if you are an artist and you are pursuing art, I'm just saying artist because there's everything wonderful in this world, like science, and I'm just talking about it from my point of view because I'm an artist. So if you love art and you pursue art and you just enjoy that process, there will always be a job for you, because there will be somebody who will come into this world and want to make a difference to the world of art. It could be dancing, it could be music, it could be films, it could be theatre, whatever. But the point is, there will always be somebody wanting to tell a new story, and they will seek you out because that's your goal too. But success is something that's not in our hands.
Yes.
It slips away.
That's one of the most wonderful things that I heard, because I truly believe that we seek happiness, we seek love from all the different things that we are doing. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's work, but it's not within us.
It's a need in every human being to be loved.
Yes.
And to be liked. We all love being liked, and why not?
Yes, true.
Yeah, we love being extraordinary and special, but you get very carried away with that just because the whole world, like say, adulates a film star, for instance. So it's like, oh my God. Yeah, but the truth is that star will have to move on one day, will go into the 60s, 70s, and then the next young lot will come. Then if you have become so caught up with the fact that you're extraordinary, oh, Neelima Azeem was what dance. You get there in life and God made me special. Whatever I do is, mid-ass is gold or whatever. You know what? That's not true. It's just not true. There is a day when you get old, when your body gets like budapa aa jata hai, you can't walk also properly without the help of somebody ordinary and not extraordinary according to you. That's a day when you have to learn that lesson very hard.
Hard. Yes.
Yeah, I'm nothing now. I'm old and doddering. It is this nameless, faceless person who will help me to walk now. So instead of having to go through that grief, it is much nicer that if we could always believe that we are all the same.
Yes.
And that we respect each other for what we are, not what we represent.
Yes.
Well, you have one life, so live it to the full. And don't beat yourself too hard if you have made a mistake, but don't make the mistake again, which doesn't mean that you have the freedom to do it. Also understand always what the other person feels by stepping into their shoes. And the third is follow your dream, no matter what. I'm beautiful from within.